What's going on, guys? It's Crazy Brad 2 here, and welcome to the first video in a new series called The Story Behind. And I feel as though the name pretty much gives away what this is going to entail, but we will be covering the story behind different maps and characters in the zombie storyline. And today we're going to be starting with my favorite and the fan favorite, Mob of the Dead. Now, rather than look at each individual character in Alcatraz Island on their own, we're going to cover this as a whole. So, in the 1930s Prohibition-era America, mob boss Salvatore De Luca built a large empire from gambling, prostitution, and distributing alcohol. However, he was eventually arrested by the police, along with his fellow mobsters Billy Handsome, Michael Finn O'Leary, and Albert Weasel Arlington. Imprisoned on Alcatraz, they were to serve hefty sentences for their crimes. Arlington, however, devised a plan to escape the island on a makeshift aircraft known as the Icarus. He somehow convinced the other three to participate in the plan, but soon enough the joint effort between them descended into quarrels, and after numerous complications, the three mobsters became hostile towards Weasel. The plan was quickly abandoned, and the plane was never constructed, much to the frustration of the mobsters. Still angry at the Weasel for the failure of the plan, Sal, Billy, and Finn constructed makeshift weapons and lured Arlington onto the roof of the prison, where they attacked him and left him to bleed to death on the night of December 31st, 1933. Their execution came on the morning of January 19th, 1934. However, after their death sentence, the group were sent back in time to the night of December 31st, 1933, in an alternate version of Alcatraz prison, inhabited entirely by zombies and a guard by the name of Brutus. With no memory of the Weasel's murder, or the failure of the escape plan, they set out to build the Icarus and make an attempt to be free. However, the escape failed after they crash on the Golden Gate Bridge. Eventually, the four mobsters are killed by zombies, reappearing in the prison with no memory of their previous endeavor, and soon attempt to build the plane once again. This results in the mobsters being stuck in an endless loop, with the notion of escape an impossibility. With no escape, the mobsters try something else. They learn that, in reality, they are all dead, and their escape plan never came to be. Remembering everything, the mobsters once again set out to kill Arlington. If Sal, Billy, and Phil continue to kill Arlington, the cycle will continue, with the mobsters dying and returning to Alcatraz, and only Weasel having any memory of what happened before. However, if Arlington successfully kills Sal, Billy, and Finn, the cycle is broken, leaving Arlington free to escape the bridge as the only mobster left. Although this was the original story given to us, there was much more to come with the release of Zombie Chronicles in the Chronorium. On April 16, 1940, Richtofen arrives in this dimension, Dimension 63, where he contacts members of the Illuminati and enlists their help to build a lab beneath Alcatraz, which is something we do not see when playing this map. On April 18, 1940, which is just 2 days later after Richtofen had arrived, Richtofen meets with Stanley Ferguson and convinces him to assist with the Illuminati's construction of the laboratory beneath Alcatraz. Over a year later, Stanley Ferguson reports that the laboratory had been completed, that the subjects will be placed in the stasis chambers upon arrival. On July 4th, 1941, Richtofen returns to the lab underneath Alcatraz, where he meets Victus, arriving from the empty Earth with the Chronorium. For those of you who don't know, the Chronorium basically holds all the knowledge in all universes, and we've only gotten one page of it, so there's so much to be known, but that's a story for another time. And the Victus crew is the transit crew. After reading the Chronorium, Richtofen discovers numerous timelines documenting their fates and learns about the blood vials. He would later write on the page, "I now know what I must do. ER 4741. Richtofen enters a rift to acquire the blood of Sal and Finn, which happens just 8 days before their death on January 11th, 1934. After delivering the blood to his younger self and recovering the blood vials belonging to Victus, he returns. Victus is placed on ice to be kept safe until they are needed next. On July 4th, 1941, Primus arrives to collect the Victus blood samples from Richtofen. Following Primus's departure, which Primus is the crew that we play as in Black Ops 3 and Origins, Richtofen learns the location of the summoning key and travels to his next destination, which is to be Shadows of Evil. With the release of the Chronorium, we can basically assume that we will be seeing Mob the Dead another time. And I think that could be one of the first maps that we get in Black Ops 3, because in an interview with Jason Blundell and JC Backfire, JC asks the question, why wasn't Mob the Dead in Zombies Chronicles? And Jason, being himself, gives a very cryptic answer and says there is more to this map than just remastering it and putting it in this map pack. And in a recent tweet from David Vonderhaar, he tweets, as seen outside 79 Diesel Rabbit office, which is a building that Treyarch uses, he says, I love our community. And we see multiple pictures saying remaster Mob the Dead from multiple fans through just in different times of the year at different events and such. And I think that pretty much confirms that Mob the Dead will be coming to us very soon. And we've seen a fan-made remake, which was a great job to be done. We see the addition of this laboratory that we get in Mob the Dead, and we see these cryopods, and so we can only speculate what we're really going to get in this remaster. I'm pretty excited because there's a lot that can be done. We can either be playing as the Primus crew, where we come to get the blood vials, or we can be playing as Victus, getting there in general, which I find it very difficult to believe we're going to be playing as the transit crew, but it is a possibility. Or we might just get a straight up remaster, which I also find to be not very plausible to happen, because there wouldn't be anything to add to the storyline from the same map that we've already gotten. Because what we got in Zombie Chronicles was a remaster of these maps, but we got these new quotes, and it was in addition to this timeline, because it's, at this point, an alternate timeline than what we played in Black Ops 1 and World at War. So, basically, what we're going to get next in our Mob the Dead, we're going to call it Mob the Dead 2.0, can only be a continuation onto this great story, because who knows what we're going to see. There's probably going to be a brand new Easter egg that we're going to get with it, and I do believe that we will probably play as the Primus crew, and we are going to somehow interact with Victus, or the Mob crew. And I think that is bound to happen because of what is said in the Chronorium with the building of this laboratory for the blood vials. But again, this is all speculation, and that's a video for another day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first video in our new series, because I had a lot of fun making this video and getting to know more about this map and more maps to come in the future. And if you guys did like this, just like and comment, just let me know any feedback I can get, because that is always great to get back, and I need feedback so I can become a better content creator. I don't know if you want face cam while I do this, I'm not sure what you guys want, but definitely be on the lookout for more of these videos soon, because I definitely enjoy doing this, and I think it's a lot of fun to make these kind of videos, because a lot of people don't understand the story of these maps, and I think that it's a good thing to have in your knowledge, because a lot of people don't get what goes on in the storyline, because I still get confused by it sometimes just talking with friends. But again, just appreciate any support, and I hope you guys really did enjoy this video, and I will see you all next time. Have a great day.